Hello and welcome back to another review, this time of the Doom beta, which was milling about on PlayStation 4 for a week or so, with the closed betas earlier on this year. Now, when this was written, there was still a couple of weeks until the game came out, so I understand that some of this may have changed in the last few weeks, but stick with it and see what you think. So when the beta first came out, it received a lot of criticism, particularly from the Steam community. I think about a third of the reviews on there were positive, so they weren't very pleased with it. PC players have also been very vocal about not being able to tinker with their graphics settings, although ID Software have addressed this and confirmed that that wouldn't affect the general release. So the demo itself is a fast-paced, action-y, arcadey shooter that tries to hit you in the nostalgia to remind you of Doom's gone by. Obviously, if you're watching this video, chances are you know what Doom is like, and it's fairly similar to that. The last entry in the series was 2004, and the reboot it bears some resemblance to the past entry, but there are some big changes. Ammo and power-ups litter the map, and non-regenerating health is still the same, but Doom's attitude to combat itself has changed quite drastically. Weapon pickups, from what I understand of old Doom games, they used to be sort of dotted around the map, and you pick them up and you get an advantage based on just luck and speed and everything like that. Now you choose it in a loadout before you go into the game, and it seems like it's trying to borrow far too heavily from Call of Duty and the likes of games like that. Now, with weapons being picked up before you start the game rather than collected throughout the match, obviously you get popular favourites starting to shine through, with everyone having those weapons. It's not uncommon to see a dozen players just sort of jumping off walls, throwing rockets at each other. However, the favourite seems to be the shotgun, which has insane range on it, is like a one-hit kill in most situations, doesn't really require any effort or aiming, and it seems to just be a little bit overpowered, which will hopefully get addressed. These are just the parts of the games really that you can understand. I mean, the beta, certainly for me, it throws all sorts of things at you, all these power-ups and damage numbers and stuff, but there's no context as to why they're there. And it's never really explained, so you don't know what any of it means really. This basically means that you can pick up 10 pickups in a row, and you have no idea what any of them have done really. The main other one is the Demon Rune, which basically it gets announced throughout the game, and I think you can see him on my screen there. And it basically turns you into a massive demon with shoulder-mounted rocket launchers. But apart from that, it's not really explained. I mean, it's announced when it's turning up, but I don't know what I'm looking for. So invariably, someone else gets to it just through luck or whatever like that. And then whoever gets it just wreaks havoc on the rest of the game. Essentially, Doom, I think, is going to be doomed, you see what I did there, by its own hype. The last game, it was over a decade ago. I think it's trying to borrow too much from other games to try and be relevant again. The Warpath mode is pretty good. It tries to bring a bit of strategy into it, but it leans heavily on other games, so you never really get any incredible gameplay from it. The maps don't have the corridors and the choke points to make it ultimately as strategic as you would hope. I think ultimately when Doom releases, the changes that have gone on in the last decade are going to put people off from what they were expecting, and any game, when it gets too much hype, just won't live up to it and will ultimately disappoint people. Anyway, that's my thoughts on Doom. Let me know what you think. Like and comment and subscribe to my channel, and thanks very much for watching. Catch you later.